Sativa and Indica are two main species of cannabis plants that have thousands of subspecies known as strains. They are commonly hailed by distributors and recreational users for having their very own distinct benefits and effects. For the longest time, I thought that all strains of cannabis must be one of three types. Indica strains that are said to have a sedative, relaxing effect, sativa strains known to provide a more uplifting cerebral effect, and of course hybrid strains which are thought to possess qualities of both indica and sativa, right? Well, what if I told you that everything I just described is just too vague to be accurate? The effects that a strain may have on any given person depend less on the type of plant they consume and more on a person's body chemistry and the chemical properties of cannabis itself. A recent study reveals a huge variability in the cannabis species, with terpenes and cannabinoids actually having more to do with strain effects than indica and sativa plants do. What are terpenes and cannabinoids, you may ask? Terpenes are compounds that provide a very distinctive smell and taste of each strain, while cannabinoids are compounds in the plant that our body naturally has receptors for. Researchers propose that myrcene, a commonly found terpene in cannabis, is responsible for battling conditions like anxiety and insomnia. So surely a strain containing myrcene must be an indica strain, right? Well, not exactly. Myrcene is actually found in both indica and sativa, however it's the amount of myrcene that determines the type. For example, if myrcene is found in a specific strain with a volume greater than 0.5%, the strain is considered to be indica. But if the volume of myrcene is found to be less than 0.5%, the strain is considered to be sativa. With so many strains like this, does the notion that all indicas sedate and all sativas invigorate even stand true? There are also other factors at play, like a person's metabolism, mobility, and genetics. Each person metabolizes cannabis differently. A strain that works on one person may not necessarily work on another. For example, this is Bob, and this is Steve. Say both Bob and Steve smoke 1 gram of the same strain in one day. After consuming his portion of cannabis, Bob is capable of functioning normally and goes about his day. However, Steve, on the other hand, feels much more potent effects and has to take 5 before he carries on his day. Why is this? Among many possibilities, Steve may have specific physical ailments that affect his ability to metabolize cannabis. Unlike Steve, Bob may have more receptors for cannabis in his brainstem, allowing him to accommodate a larger dose. So one can see how the type of plant had no influence in this equation. Whether they smoked an indica or sativa strain, due to their respective physiology, Bob and Steve would still react to the cannabis in the same way shown before you. So if factors like chemical compounds and a user's unique physiology determines the effects a strain has on us, why do we continue to use redundant terms like sativa and indica when they have no scientific merit? At the end of the day, sativa and indica exist as broad terms used to simplify a much more complex process. Many experts say it's due to convenience. For a novice cannabis user, these terms may help navigate a diverse field of which they have little knowledge. Simple terminology certainly comes in handy when an 85-year-old grandma who's using cannabis for the first time has to differentiate between a nighttime strain and a daytime strain to alleviate her pain. However, convenience should not supersede true information. Advocates of the plant should be aware of all the properties of cannabis in order to help novice users out to the fullest. Given how long false information has circulated about cannabis for centuries, the onus is on all of us to understand what cannabis truly is. Only then can the proper medicinal and recreational value of cannabis be truly recognized. Thank you for watching the Puff Puff Post, and follow us for all news cannabis.